This is the fifth year for the Carolyn Stroman Awards here in the Minorities and Communication Division. We're pleased to talk with the woman for whom the Stroman Award is named. That is Dr. Carolyn Stroman, who's Professor Emerita from the Catholic School of Communications at Howard University. Dr. Stroman, you've been coming to AEJMC for a long time. Talk about the association and your involvement.
Okay, I have been coming to AEJ for a long time now. I first came to AEJ as a second-year doctoral student, and I immediately gravitated toward the MAC division because that's where my paper was accepted, and that was the best thing that could have happened. I went to that to present my paper. The professors were so encouraging. The other people in the division were very encouraging, and so being in the MAC division was just an honor.
What does it mean for you to have an award named in your honor?
Oh, well, first of all, I couldn't believe it when it first happened, but it is wonderful to have this award. I think I told you that you mentioned that I'm a professor emeritus, and having sent so many students to AEJMC, not just to the MAC division, but to all over, it's just been a real honor and a pleasure.
We have 14 winners this year. What would you like to tell them about being a Carolyn Stroman Award winner?
Well, the thing that I hope that they will do, I hope that they will do two things. I hope that they will continue to write about issues that are important to MAC, and then also to get involved, because I didn't mention this, but that's one thing that MAC did for me. They sent me out to other divisions. And so I want them to make sure that they help MAC, but then they also want to go to other divisions in AEJMC.
Dr. Carolyn Stroman, Professor Emerita from the Catholic School of Communications, thank you so much for sharing your time with us today.
Thank you.
Welcome to the salute to this year's Stroman Award winners here in the Minorities and Communication Division. We're so excited today to meet some of our up-and-coming scholars in the MAC division. The Stroman Awards program is an initiative that has been going on for now 5 years in the MAC division, and today we'll get a chance to meet 6 of our 14 2020 winners. Before we get a chance to meet this year's winners, we want to give winners from one of our previous classes. We have 2 members who are now part of the MAC e-board. And I'm going to recognize Maya Williams-Fain, who is a new assistant professor at Cal State Fullerton, and also the secretary of the MAC division. Maya.
Hi, everybody. It's nice to see you all and to meet you all. So I was a Stroman Award winner in 2017 when I was still finishing up my PhD. The conference was in Chicago at that time, which is where I was doing my PhD at Northwestern. And so that was a great opportunity for me to attend and get involved. Being a Stroman Award winner was great because it incentivized me to attend the business meeting where I got to learn a lot more about MAC and be recognized there as a winner that year. Also that year, that's when they were doing an open run for the position of social media coordinator. And so I, along with Miriam, ran from the floor and was able to kind of get involved right away and started as being a social media coordinator for MAC that year, and then continued that the subsequent year. And now I'm serving as the secretary of the division. So it's been a great opportunity to connect with other people in the division and at AEJ. Looking forward to continuing next year as the co-mentorship chair. So we'll talk to you guys about that a little bit later, but it's nice to meet you all and congratulations.
Can we ask you to tell us what the first year of teaching has been like for a new assistant professor at Cal State Fullerton?
Yes, of course. I mean, it's certainly been a transition in getting used to switching from student life to professor life and balancing the teaching load with the research, right? And so definitely been something that I've had to focus a lot more of my time on and do kind of research interspersingly between when I'm teaching. But it's been great to have support. I actually did participate in the MAC mentorship program my first year when I got involved. And so I'm still in touch with that mentor. She actually just passed on an opportunity to me to write a book review. And so it's been nice to be able to use those connections even still now as I'm serving as a professor.
Excellent, excellent. Our other thank you very much, Maya. Our other 2017 Stroman Award winner is Miriam Fernandez. Miriam is our social media chair. She's in her second year doing that for us. A very tough job given all the things that can happen with social media these days. But Miriam, take it away.
Hello, everybody. Yes, my name is Miriam. I'm also kind of like finishing my first year. I kind of feel like Maya and I were going, supporting each other. We started as social media coordinators, and also we've like started our jobs as Caltech as well. I mean, Cal State Dominguez, not Cal State, Cal State Dominguez Hills. And I think 2017 was a good year. I was recipient of the Stroman Award. I think my experience a little bit, tiny bit different, because I was doing my PhD overseas. I was in Hong Kong. So coming here and doing the job hub in AJMC and getting all the support from MAC, kind of like having a way, like talking with other professors, or just watching them. I remember watching Melody and watching Nia, watching George, and just kind of like absorbing everything that is MAC. It was my second year. I think it was second or third year in AJ that I had come, but it was my first year that I was very, very active. And I have learned so much, and I think you will also learn so much if I encourage you as well to get involved, to follow us on social media. But even if you just go to our business meeting and start watching how everybody behaves and how everybody like connects with everybody, it's, to me, has been such an amazing opportunity. So I congratulate you as well. And yeah.
Thank you, Miriam. You mentioned the business meeting. The MAC members meeting, we call it now, is this year on Friday, August the 7th at 8:15 Pacific time. And at that time, we will recognize you again. There'll be a slide with all your photos, and then we're gonna make sure that we give you a chance to raise your hand so we can see you in the bunch of all the other members who are attending that meeting. But it is important that you recognize, we recognize you, but you recognize that that's a part of our every year annual gathering. And the members of a division really only meet officially at the convention each year, conference each year. And that is something that you will also use to make important connections. Even in this virtual environment, you may find someone attending whose paper you've cited in your paper. That's what usually happens to me. And I go, oh yeah, I was reading that for my project, my research. That's the guy, that's him. Oh, wow, okay. It can happen, and that's a good thing. So do make sure you participate in that meeting. With that in mind, we do want to share our screen, and we're going to, at this time, bring on our first winner for this year, and her name is Jasmine Gray. Jasmine is a Park Fellow at the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, where she is a mixed methods health communication researcher. She has developed a narrative-based intervention called life plotting. And one of the things that we want to note is that not only is Jasmine a Stroman Award winner, which we always recognize the Lee Barrel Scholarship winner as a part of each of our cohorts. The Lee Barrel Scholarship is an initiative primarily of the Communication and Theory, which now is Communication Theory and Methodology Division. And we collaborate with them each year along with Mass Common Society in giving a scholarship to a deserving PhD student to provide assistance in completing dissertation work. And so we know that Jasmine will get to that point very soon. But right now I want to back out of the slide and give her an opportunity to share some words with you. Jasmine. There we go.
First, I just want to say thank you to AEJMC, to the NAC and CTM divisions for the absolute honor of accepting this year's Barrel Scholarship and a Stroman Award. The late Dr. Guerra was unapologetic about the necessity for diversity and for the inclusion of underrepresented and marginalized voices in academia. He worked tirelessly to challenge and change the status quo. And Dr. Stroman, as I've learned, was dedicated to mentoring future generations. So I am beyond excited to follow in their footsteps. I believe that story transforms the soul, the mind, the emotions, and our will to move forward with our lives against all odds. Story also empowers communities, particularly marginalized communities. And so my work asks questions about how personal narratives and entertainment narratives can help people, can be used to help people build resiliency and to help communities empower themselves. And my most recent work is, as was stated, life writing, which uses commercial storytelling techniques to facilitate a person's involvement and reflection on their story or their own experiences. So I look forward to using this award to continue my work advocating for marginalized communities through narrative research with the same passion as those who got this award before me and those for whom the award is named. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jasmine, and congratulations. As we move on to our next winner, we do want to recognize next Shayun Teen. And Shayun is a PhD student in the School of Communication at the University of Miami. I've actually been on their campus once, and that is one of the nicest campuses in the state of Florida. But Shayun has co-authored a paper that is the second runner-up in our faculty research competition. Her paper is entitled Coping with Workplace Racial Discrimination, the Moderating Role of Transparent Communication. And her focus in her research is on digital media and consumer psychology in marketing, health, and science communication. Shayun, you are on now. Go for it.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
First of all, I feel very honored, and also thanks to the MAC division to have me this year in this program and also this award. And I'm so happy to see you all virtually this year. And hopefully we will see each other in the early August in the AGMC virtual conference. And I feel very honored, and I'm very lucky to got this opportunity to collaborate with other faculty members in our school to work on this paper. And I feel it's very meaningful, especially in this COVID-19 difficult time regarding the racial minorities in their situations in the workplace. And now I'm in this summer, I'm pretty busy because I'm working on my qualifying exam. So I just finished my writing exam last week and still working on my oral exam, and I will proceed to work on my dissertation, and hopefully I can complete and finish my PhD soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. And we will go to our next winner for this year. And that next winner is from the television news arena. He actually worked in several markets, but his name is Robert Richardson. He is a second-year PhD student coming in this coming year at the University of Texas at Austin. His research this year, his paper this year is entitled News Presenters and the People Who Lead Them. I guess I was one of those people because I was a producer. So I have a special interest in this paper, particularly because it focuses in a research area that I have in common with. But examining diversity of local television news teams is the focus of Mr. Richardson's paper. And he researches experiences of minorities and women in broadcast news. He has worked in several markets, but most recently in the Raleigh-Durham market in the state of North Carolina. And so we will call on Rob at this time.
Good morning, good afternoon to those of you in the Eastern time zone. I met Jazz a couple years ago, and she was very polished then and was much more prepared than I am for my comments today. But I'm very grateful for the recognition for the research that I've done, and am looking forward to continuing to participate in MAC. The project that I've started this summer is looking at invisible minorities, which is doing some research into LGBTQ reporters in broadcasting and their experiences. And I started on this about a couple weeks before the Supreme Court announcement. And then I saw several of my former coworkers who I knew to be gay posting experiences on Facebook about accidentally or unintentionally outing themselves on air and then being told by management, don't ever do that again. So they see this as a big win about being able to acknowledge who they are on air. So I'm developing a survey, which I am actually submitting to IRB this afternoon, about their openness and outness, both on air and then online. It actually developed as my wife was one of my coders for my research project, and we looked at station bios. This is in my paper that I will be presenting, and she noticed a few station bios mentioning same-sex partners, but it's rare, and trying to identify what processes people make and the discrimination that they may face by putting that information out there. So that's what I'm working on this summer, because I saw that in your email, and excited to be with you now and again in a couple of weeks. Thank you.
Thank you, Rob. Our next presenter is a winner from, let me put this in full screen so you can see it. I'm actually going to do it this way. Christina Nagara, Jimenez Nagara. She's at Texas Tech in Lubbock, Texas. Her research paper is entitled An Analysis of Attitudes and Perceptions of Body Image Among Young Adult Hispanic Women. She has already been admitted to candidacy in her program there at Texas Tech, and she researches cognitive and emotional processing related to those who are doing a little bit more than just driving normally. She's also interested in body image. Christina, congratulations.
Thank you. Well, first and foremost, thank you so much for the honor and for the Stroman Award. It was really a surprise and a really great excitement. Right now, as you mentioned, I was admitted at candidacy in the fall, and because of COVID, I was in the middle of writing my proposal. It got pushed back a little. So that's what I'm doing now. And my dissertation overall focuses on the role that multitasking plays in terms of eye attention or visual attention in the task of driving, but also the way that the actual behavior is processed in terms of content that is focused on risky or adversive risky messaging to try to minimize that behavior or whatnot. So that's kind of what my dissertation is all about. But currently right now, which is my fun little project, what I'm doing this summer is looking at body image issues in the way that they develop in males. Because I usually bounce a little bit between females and males, and in the area of avatars of human and communication. And I'm really excited as well to hopefully be continuing on and being involved with MAC. I have been with AEJ, I'm a member of AEJMC since 2015. But I want to find like a home where I can actually, have support and feedback in terms of just bouncing ideas back and forth and networking with other like great scholars.
Well, welcome home. This is a great place for you to call home, and we're glad you're here. Thank you so much. All right, our last winner, our second to last winner, I should say, is Martin Riedel. Martin Riedel is coming to us also from the University of Texas at Austin. His paper is focused on social media. It's called Left Out of the Equation, Examining Perceptions of Racial Bias on Social Media Platforms. Like Christina, he is also already a candidate, so he probably won't be in Austin very much longer. They're going to try to hire him away, especially since he has already completed publications in several journals. You see them here on the slide. Let's recognize and congratulate Martin Riedel.
Thanks so much for the introduction. I'm actually here today because I'm a co-author of a paper that's led by Kelsey Whipple, and Ryan Wallace is also an author of it. Kelsey can't be here today because she is starting her new job at the University of Massachusetts Amherst, and she's traveling up to Amherst. And so our paper is about perceptions of how racial bias is propagated by social media platforms. And we did a US representative survey on that. And we also looked at correlations between perceptional and use variables. I'm very happy to be joining the MAC division. I've been involved with AEJ before. This is my first time of engaging with MAC. And to learn more about the research and the people affiliated with it. Thank you very much for the opportunity to join the division through this award. It's good to be here. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Martin. And our last Stroman Award winner for 2020, who's with us today, comes from the greatest university in the world, University of Georgia. I'm a little biased. I'm a Grady College graduate, but that is not a factor in selecting So-Yi Kim from the Grady College. Her research speaks for her. She is the second runner-up for our student paper competition, and her paper, Communicating the Culture Through Korean Food Between Authenticity and Adoption, is reflective of her research on the experiences of those in marginalized communities and in the area of public relations. And we know that public relations is a very, very important area for research. And we're so glad that she's here today. So-Yi, it's your turn.
Hi, everyone. I'm Soli. It's very nice to meet all of you. I finished my second year in a doctoral program at the University of Georgia, and I'm currently actually studying for the for my comms this August. So I've been doing a lot of reading, listening, and learning this summer. My research interested in the experiences of marginalized communities in public relations and media practices. I would like to thank you for the Stroman Award and all of your work for this division. This is a really huge encouragement for students like me. And I would also like to express my special thanks to Dr. Dillard, who provided such helpful answers to the many questions that I had about attending this conference. I am really excited and honored to be here and then to be able to share my work with more people. This is not my first time that work that I participated in is being presented at the conference, but this is my first time attending a conference and presenting my work in front of people. So I am really excited about this conference, and I cannot wait to learn more about you and about your research. Thank you so much.
Thank you, So-Yi. These are the winners from the 2020 cohort of our Stroman Award winners. This year, we have 14 winners coming from a variety of institutions. In fact, this year, one of our winners, she couldn't be with us today, is actually an undergraduate student at Rice University. And I will go back to our slides one more time just to share with you the other winners for this year. We have Othello Richards, Texas Tech University also. We have two students from the Manship School at Louisiana State University, Tim Klein and Quincy Hodges. Mentioned earlier, Kelsey Whipple, who's finishing up her work at University of Texas and headed to a new faculty position at the University of Massachusetts Amherst. Olisi Adebola from Texas Tech University. He also has completed his degree and is headed to a new faculty position at the DePaul University. We also recognize Ryan Wallace from the School of Journalism at the University of Texas at Austin. And as I mentioned earlier, Priscilla Lee from Rice University. We want to congratulate these students and let you know, those of you watching this video, that we want to see these students blossom, develop, and become leaders not only in the MAC division, but elsewhere in the association. So when you see their work, when you see them in the virtual conference, congratulate them. Thank you very much for all of the things that you're doing and will continue to do as part of the MAC division. Congratulations to the 2020 class of our Stroman Awards.